Hello everyone, this is Hannah, and today is a beautiful spring day. The sky is blue, and the sun is shining brightly. There is not even a single cloud in the sky today. It is just beautiful. And here are the Polyphemus moth cocoons that I've been caring for. I have some good news. Guess what? Recently, 2 more Polyphemus moth cocoons were added to the jar. There are now 6 Polyphemus moth cocoons. On March 4, we went to a park that it had been a while since we visited. It had been a couple of months. Probably last time we visited was in November. This park had a lot of cocoons in it last year when we came, and this time there was lots of cocoons as well. We were walking on a trail at the park, and I was looking up at the tall, beautiful trees in the process of budding. I noticed on a low branch a cocoon hanging. It was low enough for us to get, but not with our hands. We had to get a big stick off of the ground, and we used it to knock the cocoon off of the branch. It fell right in front of me, and I picked it off of the ground. I looked at the cocoon, and it appeared to be healthy. It sounds good inside when I shake it. So, we walked further down the path. We then came across a row of budding willow trees. Many of the cocoons I found have been in oak trees. The oak tree is one of multiple host plants of the Polyphemus moth, and so is the willow. When walking down this row of budding willow trees, we spotted lots of cocoons hanging from branches. Only 3 of many cocoons we were able to get, and only 1 of those was healthy. The first cocoon that we could get down from the willow tree had been attacked and parasitized by parasitic wasps or flies, and it had a hole in the top. The second was healthy, and I took it with us, along with the cocoon I had found earlier. The third cocoon was on a low branch. It was definitely low enough for us to reach, but it appeared to be severely damaged, with several big dents in it. It looked as if a pupa inside would have not survived the damage. So we just left the cocoon there. We went home with 2 healthy new Polyphemus moth cocoons. Hi everyone, it is currently March 12, 2023, and here are all 6 beautiful Polyphemus moth cocoons. So they're doing well, and they're all healthy, and you might be wondering why they're in a bowl today rather than the jar they're usually in. So the reason why is because the weather has taken a random turn on us. This morning it rained really hard, and the cocoons, lots of water got inside of the jar, and they ended up floating in water because water had started to fill up in the jar. So I removed them from the jar. They were soaking wet. I put them in this bowl for a couple hours to dry off, and now they are nice and dry. So yeah, the weather has been quite unusual lately. Last week, beautiful, nice, warm spring temperatures. This week, temperatures dropping, feels like winter again. So since today was a cold and rainy day, we didn't go anywhere and we didn't do that much today. But I do want to show you this interesting cocoon I found yesterday. So as you can see, this cocoon is definitely not a Polyphemus moth cocoon. The way it's made is differently. It's thinner than a Polyphemus moth cocoon. Unlike a Polyphemus moth cocoon, this one has sticks around it. So you can see how the caterpillar that made this cocoon perfectly lined the cocoon with a bunch of sticks all around. And isn't that just amazing? It really amazes me how creative insects can get when it comes to camouflage and surviving outside. It's just really interesting how they can build structures to camouflage themselves. So that is a very beautiful and unique cocoon, and this is the cocoon of a bagworm moth. So the bagworm moth is a very interesting moth. The females don't have wings or legs, so they never actually get out of the cocoon. The males are smaller than the females, and they do have wings and legs. The males look much more like a proper moth than the females do. The females just look like worms since they don't have any wings or legs or anything. So they never actually get out of the cocoon. So the males have to find the females' cocoons in order to breed with them. And the females lay their eggs inside of the cocoon. And then the females die in the cocoon, and the eggs overwinter and hatch in early spring or late summer. That's the information that I found online about the bagworm moth. So really interesting, although I do feel very sorry for the poor little females that don't have wings or legs, that never get out of their cocoon. Now I know that what's inside of this cocoon is probably and most likely not a pupa like I imagined, but actually bagworm moth eggs. So now I'm kind of not very sure what to do with it. I searched on information about how to care for bagworm moths, but any and everything that came up was just talking about how to kill, because unfortunately the bagworm moth caterpillar is considered a destructive pest to trees. It can eat up all the leaves on a tree very fast. So I couldn't find much information on these moths about how to care for them. So I've decided that maybe we could look up what type of tree that we found this cocoon on and then return it back to that type of tree so that it can just be there and remain there for however long it takes for the caterpillars to hatch, because I don't want them to hatch in the house and then not do very good because it's not the right environment for them. So hopefully we'll be able to return this little guy to the wild soon. And that's all I have for you in this video. 6 beautiful polyphemus moth cocoons and 1 unusual bagworm moth cocoon. Goodbye and see you in the next video, hopefully with a good update.